going on with OnlyFans cop?
Yeah, I'm going to have to add this to my running list of OnlyFans horror stories. A now ex-cop in Nashville was fired and then arrested because he was caught filming content for OnlyFans while on duty.
Well, you know.
That could happen to anyone.
Excuse me. I thought this was America. Okay.
So this man's name is Sean Herman. You can see his mugshot there. He has been arrested for appearing in an OnlyFans video while on duty. And you can see him in this censored version of the video. Let's take a look.
Here we go.
Told you you were going too fast. Nobody listens to me.
I'm not gonna get a ticket.
How do you think that you're going to get a ticket?
I'm gonna show my.
No, you're not.
Watch me. Just watch.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Officer Jones, MPD. You know what I pulled you over?
No.
All right, well, I got you going 65 and I'm 45 back there, okay? You have your license or registration on you?
I actually don't have it in this car, but what if I show you these?
I love how they use his mugshot to censor.
Well, what if you...
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can guess what happened from there.
First of all,
jail, right?
like this guy they need to work on their script writing. 45 and a 65 and a 45. They should have come up with a more ridiculous number. It's the
Insane.
story I'm not believing right now.
Is the woman guilty of a crime, or is it just him because he was doing this while on duty?
I mean, is he guilty of a crime, or is he
Yes.
just in violation of his duty as an
It
officer?
says after he was fired, police continued the investigation, resulting in his arrest. A criminal court judge set his bond at $3,000, and he was released from jail in the early morning hours on Friday, according to inmate records.
So, what was the actual crime? Do we know what the actual crime was? Indecent exposure?
It didn't say in this article. We're not sure, but this reminds me of the female cop who had an OnlyFans page and was recognized by someone she pulled over
Yeah.
in
And
Minneapolis.
the guy's like, you have no authority over me. I pay for your OnlyFans subscription.
And he was completely right.
Yeah.
But I think, this guy should be kicked out of the force even if he were doing this off duty.
Okay.
Because it completely collapses the idea that you should have any authority over anyone else, in my opinion.
The so I guess it's that he's in uniform while doing this, but is that a crime or is that just I guess that's a crime and not just something
Yeah, we
that-
don't know what they charged him with, but yes, he was arrested and he was put in jail.
It does remind me of also he needs to work in his delivery. What did he say his name was? Was it Officer Johnson? Because if it was Officer Johnson, that makes perfect sense. But it reminds me, you talked about the lady who got recognized by the guy, which reminded everyone of the Blue Bloods episode where the officer had an OnlyFans, and everyone's like, look, the show jumped the shark because they basically at the end of the episode say, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like where Frank Reagan should never be like, yes, it's okay for a cop to have an OnlyFans.
Well, that female cop I mentioned, the last thing we heard about her is that she was under investigation by her division, and we didn't hear if she was like eventually fired or what happened
Yeah.
to her. But she wasn't charged with anything like this guy was.
I wonder if in the video they used some like really, really well placed like body cam shots to really change the cinematography for the scene.
So you told me about this other anecdote of a guy who he got caught hooking up with someone he pulled over in a squad car. He
got locked in the back.
He got accidentally locked in the back seat, his pants around the ankles, and had to get another cop to come to the location and let him out of the car.
Yep.
Clownery.
Yes, clownery.
We literally live in a clown country.
We do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do not back the blue. I do not back the blue because of this.
Never pick one side. There's no A cab, no back the blue. Take every instance as it comes and treat them as individual instances. If they did something wrong, they did something wrong.
All cops are boners, apparently. That's what we're learning today. All cops are boners.
The women too, because there's a lot of stories about women cops banging a lot of the dudes. That they
Yes,
work with.
there's multiples of those recently. Where another one where she sent her nudes to her sergeant or something like that, like her desk sergeant.
All cops are horny.
Yeah,
And the
the lady who had sex with the entire precinct and then got a
Yeah.
settlement out of it.
claimed that
cops
she
are
was
horny.
coerced
Uh,
Yeah.
non-consensually.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. But.
The she had sex with 5 members of her precinct and then settled for like several thousand, like $80,000 or something out of court. You know, I can't with this stuff. And then they wonder why people have a problem with the cops these days, right?
Well, it's not because of this, but it should be.
It's because they're horny.
I don't know. It's kind of becoming like a tally. Like every time we see these disgusting stories of like the female teachers with students, and you're just like, why do these numbers keep piling up? Now it's like, why are these like? Back in the day, it was like, you know what it is? Actually, the cops were being reprimanded for excessive use of force, and they're subliminal, and now they're like. All their energy is going towards this stuff because they can't actually beat suspects anymore. That's what it is.
That's an interesting theory.
That's
out there.
it's displaced aggression.
Well, you see more stories about OnlyFans related scandals in teaching.
500K.
A lot of teachers.
500K is what she settled with.
Is he going to say that this is because he wasn't making enough money on his salary from the?
For the guy, he's like, I just wanted to do it. I don't care. The girl, the women will make the. See, it's the women that always. What we were talking about the other day. Like, if you want to do bad things, don't pretend like it's for a good cause. If you want to be a menace, but don't pretend like you're doing it for some virtuous reason. If you want to be,
or don't put it on the internet for everyone to see.
Yeah, if you want to be officer slutty, that's fine, but don't pretend like you're doing it for because you're not getting paid enough.
Officer slutty.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever. But I think the female teachers ones are far more.
Yeah.
Are just as disconcerting, if not more so.
Right, because they always somehow involve the students in it.
There was the one recently where like the 2 teachers got caught. And it's just like, how many of these have been racked up in just the last couple of years?
And I maintain that they deserve to be fired for these things.
Tax dollars at work. Tax dollars at work. Well, I mean, in this case, especially because he's in uniform and he's doing it. But the other story that we talked about before is just as good of an example as to why it limits your ability to actually hold authority over anyone else.
Of course. And also, I've said before about the teachers, there is a maybe not stated explicitly, but there is a morality clause where if parents decide that they don't want you around their children for whatever reason, the way that you conduct yourself in your quote unquote private life that you're broadcasting to millions of people on the internet, that they have a right to do so. Thank you. And that goes the same for the cops. If you're in a position of authority over the public.
Well, especially for the cops, like I'm no lawyer, but I imagine like you're in court and you're being questioned by a defense attorney, and they're like, speaks to your credibility. Like, is this what you do in your free time? And like,
right, it should discredit that person.
I'm not a lawyer. So.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.